This is Culture Wars here on Morning Kickaround. I'm Robert. In the middle is Jason Davis. On the far side, writer, historian, and blogger Dan Creel. We're here to talk today about the reemergence of the New York Cosmos and the legal fallout that has come from it. Dan, welcome to Morning Kickaround, sir.
Thanks for having me. I don't know what the singular of bevy is, so bevi or something. So I'm one of those guests. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming by, Dan. The reason Dan is here is, as Rob just said, there's a lawsuit. Now, I guess first I need to know, Dan, are we in any danger of being sued if we dive into this conversation here in America?
Who knows? It's America. But no, we're just talking about these issues. We're not giving any type of legal information. We're not anything like that. Legal advice, no legal advice here.
It just feels like one of the parties involved in this is litigious, or maybe not litigious. Maybe that's not fair to him. He certainly is aggressive in using the law in ways that he thinks will benefit, or he says will benefit all the soccer fans.
All of us as fans.
But clearly it's about him. Now if you don't know, we're talking about Scott Michaels. He goes by the Matchmaker, which I think is a reference to an earlier career. I don't exactly know. Dan, can you give us a little thumbnail sketch on what he's been up to?
So real quickly, there's a lot here, but Scott Michaels popped up on the American soccer scene 2022, middle to end of that. He started tweeting and he put up a website called the National Soccer League. He said he was the founder of the National Soccer League, and what he was doing was bringing back some of the old clubs. So he trademarked Los Angeles Aztecs, Chicago Sting. He was saying he's bringing them back. The Galacticos, supposedly they were headquartered in Los Angeles, and he was in talks with Memorial Stadium in Los Angeles and Titan Stadium to bring this league. In that year, I think he wanted to play the Aztecs. He commented that it was going to be something like the Harlem Globetrotters, that they would go around and play other teams until they got the league started. And so he's on Twitter all the time. He's on LinkedIn a lot. So on LinkedIn, he would post things like, "Oh, I'm proud to say I'm now the club owner of the Los Angeles Aztecs," things like that. So that's what happened in 2022. He was very kind of lots of talk about himself. He called himself the Matchmaker, said he has all these networks and he had this big team of people who are helping him bring this league and these teams back. And what he's done over the past, basically within 2022, 2023, he trademarked over 20 trademarks of soccer trademarks.
Can I stop you just for a moment, Dan?
Yes,
just a point of detail.
Yeah.
How could he do that?
Oh, well, I mean, anybody, if anybody can go try to trademark something with the United States Trademark Office, and that's what he did. Basically, what he was saying was these old trademarks, mostly they were old North American Soccer League teams, had been abandoned. Therefore, he was trademarking them to bring them back. But he would say things like, "I have registered the Los Angeles trademark, federally registered Los Angeles trademarks, and bringing them back." So there's a lot of skepticism, of course, pushing back on him. And he was very kind of aggressive about what he was doing. And he would go take folks to task about naysaying on them. So that's what happened. In 2023, he kind of went quiet. Then he basically erased almost all of his social media and relaunched the National Soccer League again. Last year, 2024, he did, I think, 3 or 4 WeFunders for these teams. Invest in the Chicago Sting, invest in the Washington Diplomats, invest in the Los Angeles Aztecs to bring them back. So that kind of brings us, and nothing has ever.
Has there ever been? No soccer has been played.
No soccer has been played.
No stadium deals.
Has gear been sold?
So my understanding is gear has been sold. There's gear on his various websites.
Okay.
There's branded gear for these teams on his various websites.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we'll bring this in because we want to interact with our viewers. This is Soccer Night in Detroit. He's one of our MK Ultras. Shout out to him. He's saying release the Express because he's saying like all the stuff he used to be able to get with Express logos on it is now dried up because Scott Michaels has locked down those trademarks.
I have no idea. So all the trademarks he has applied for 22 trademarks. None of them have been officially approved as of today.
Okay.
So it's an entire process, but
he's planted a flag, but nothing is happening. All right. You said it was going to bring us to the moment. Let's talk about the Cosmos.
Yeah.
Where are we with the Cosmos?
So the Cosmos have been in limbo since the whole NASL versus MLS stuff, right? And they, the Cosmos, hooked up with early NISA. They only lasted, I think, half a season, and they kind of disappeared again because of NISA wasn't a place for the Cosmos to play for a variety of reasons. So they've been kind of in limbo since that point. Earlier this year, in I think middle of May of this year, a group called New Jersey Soccer Club, I think, received a USL League One franchise, and they said they're also going to field a women's team. Now, this group is involved with the renovation of Hinchcliffe Stadium in Paterson, New Jersey, a very old, kind of storied stadium. So they were going to bring a team back to Paterson, New Jersey. Eric Stover, who was part of New York.
Eric's been on the show, Dan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was part of this group, and so this kind of kicked off Mr. Michael's new kind of litigious kind of area here. And so what he did is, I'm just going to do this very quickly. He created, so all these trademarks were under his name originally. Yeah. He created a company in the UK called Football is for the Fans Limited. In mid-May, he assigned all of these trademarks from himself to this company in the UK. Actually, he assigned it to a subsidiary company in Texas, in Austin, Texas. So except for one, and we'll get to that in a minute. But it's organized in Delaware with this this subsidiary in New York, which is all under Football is for Fans Limited in the UK. So he did that in June 1st. And you can see what really pushed him is that there was bubbling up. The New York Cosmos were coming back, right? And what happened is this New Jersey going to play in Paterson franchise. They acquired all the international intellectual property from the Cosmos, from Rocco.
Yeah. They
signed it officially. And now basically what Mr. Michaels is doing after that happened, that same week, and there was the announcement came out that that's what's happened. The Cosmos are returning. He then filed 2 more trademarks for New York Cosmos FC and the Cosmos. And there might be a third one. And these were kind of new ones. One was officially applied for by the UK company. The other 1 or 2 was from that Texas subsidiary. So that, and now what he's saying, and then I'll get to the lawsuits. What he said he wants to do is play matches between the New York Cosmos, his New York Cosmos, and another team somewhere in England, in a stadium in England. I can't remember exactly where, but yes.
Okay.
That's where we are with him.
Okay, we'll let you out there watching. We'll let you determine how much stock you put into any of Mr. Michael's efforts towards actually playing soccer. But there is, because the Cosmos intend to play as the Cosmos in Northern Jersey at Hinchcliffe Stadium. This has now led to a direct issue, legally speaking.
Right. Mr. Michaels filed the first lawsuit. I'm just looking over here. He filed the first lawsuit. I'm just clicking against Mediacom. So that's Rocco's company for trademark. He filed 2 in 2 weeks. The second one was the court quickly dismissed because they were basically the same. I'm not sure who he filed 2. So this was in August, beginning of August. Then another one in late August. So Hinchcliffe Sports Partners, which I think now is the official name for the entity which is controlling the New York Cosmos, they filed a trademark infringement act against Mr. Michaels. That's the big one, and that's a lot of going back and forth. Mr. Michaels then filed a defamation suit against Werner Roth, former New York Cosmos great. Mr. Michaels is on LinkedIn a lot, and he makes a bunch of statements, big statements, and Werner Roth, I believe, just said, "This guy, I don't trust this guy." And now Mr. Michaels is now has filed a lawsuit against him. 2 more lawsuits. Mr. Michaels filed a lawsuit directly, a trademark lawsuit against Stover, originally calling him Erica Stover and then having to go back and fix that typo
Okay.
Derek.
Okay.
And Mr. Michael's final lawsuit is against the trademark office itself for basically taking way too long to approve all his different trademarks. So
That's
he's
novel.
Yes. So he's got a lot going on.
Okay.
And also just one quick thing is that he has asked, so you can add, there's a lot of fees, filing fees and transcript fees that go with lawsuits. You can ask the court to waive those fees. Oh, by the way, all these lawsuits he brought them in federal court in the Southern District of New York. It's a bold move.
That's a choice too, right?
Yes, it's a choice.
All right.
So he actually filed for a waiver because of lack of financial ability, so he wouldn't have to pay all these fees. And there is a financial statement. It's all public record. There's a financial statement that you have to show the court to prove that you don't have the ability to pay for these things. And it's got his finances pretty much on there. And he doesn't really have the resources to field a soccer club.
So this seems like a very strange long play to sell merch to me, right? Is there anything beyond this? Like, I don't know if we want to speculate too much, but this seems like a lot of effort for what seems to be the product he's going for.
That's a good question. As honestly, Robert, on all seriousness, I'm not exactly sure what Mr. Michael's what he's doing here. What end game here? Because it feels like he's Don Quixote at this point. Because I wasn't sure if he was just trying to get a settlement deal. Right. People do this with these type of actions. They sit on a trademark and they hope for a settlement deal and, to make some money off of it. But then he filed all these lawsuits in district court. And that speaks that he's maybe somebody who actually believes kind of what he's putting out there.
Look, I mean, again, I think there's an easy conclusion to jump to here. There's an easy judgment to make. And I'm sure a lot of people are making it. I mean, you mentioned people. Mark Fishkin seems to be very interested in pushing back or illuminating people to what Mr. Michaels is trying to do, and I respect Mark. I don't know if he really believes that there's some right to this on his behalf. The fact he's operating from the UK is it's not strange in with the Cosmos, but the rest of these brands, it is odd. It just feels strange that it's dislocated from American soccer, and here he is trying to grab all of these American soccer marks, some of which have a little bit of historical value and marketing value, and some of which probably don't have much. I mean, I guess it's cool to see an Aztec shirt, and if you're an American soccer fan and a nerd and you know about the Aztecs, you might go pick one up. But I just don't. Again, this seems like as Rob said, it seems like a lot of effort to maybe sell a handful of Los Angeles Aztec shirts. So, and people are also mentioning, if you go and look at his output online, whether it's his website or his LinkedIn or whatever, he tends to use a lot of AI, and he puts himself in these pictures where people are holding up scarves for whatever former NASL team he's referencing, and I don't know. It's just
if anyone cares to Google, there is one of him hugging Pele and a Pele from like the 1970s. So
I'll tell you what, I didn't notice too much of that uncanny valley. I mean, they're AI, clearly AI, but I didn't notice too much of that uncanny valley, like too many fingers or whatever kind of comes with AI images sometimes. So maybe he's a really good operator of AI. Maybe he's got talent.
No, it's. I will say, in my opinion, he does it very quickly. Like there's a San Antonio Thunder logo. It's from NASL days. It's a cowboy kicking a soccer ball, right? He's running and kicking a soccer ball. He animated it, and it looks like the guy is dribbling the soccer ball.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Something like that.
Right. So it's pretty.
Wow.
It's a mass AI kind of push.
Look, there's beyond Scott Michaels, there is a discussion to be had about the value, again, of these old NASL teams. Now, the Cosmos existed fairly recently as a going concern. It's a soccer playing club. But we've had some people say, like, I don't think the Cosmos should be coming back. They shouldn't be. I was initially skeptical, and to Eric Stover's credit, he came on the show and defended the idea. But I was skeptical about having a third division soccer team carrying the Cosmos name in a 5,000 seat stadium in Paterson, New Jersey. That seemed like an odd fit to me. So I think there's stuff here. I just don't know how to unpack it based on what Scott is doing.
Yeah, I mean, there is value in that name, right? There's value in the New York Cosmos name and brand. And for whoever owns that intellectual property not to use it, it's somebody's going to take it. Like if I,
yes.
you know, like rightly or wrongly, somebody's going to try to take it. So if it has to be third division, I think that's the move. I will say personally, if I were in that same position, I would do that because it's better to be the New York Cosmos and be playing soccer than to just have to bring it up sitting.
Well, obviously with the potential of promotion or relegation, all these things what USL is doing, there's at least a way to imagine the Cosmos playing in what would be a first division in American soccer. Again, whether the stadium kind of fits the legacy of the Cosmos, but again, the Cosmos were playing on Randall's Island at one point. Like it's not, and you know this, Dan, better than I do, probably as a historian. It's not as though the Cosmos origins were glitzy and glamorous. They weren't at all. They were the opposite.
Grubby. Yeah. A lot of that early NASL days were kind of, you know, grubby, kind of minor league level that we would think about today. It wasn't until Pele hit, right, and that whole machine started rolling that it became the Cosmos playing in Giant Stadium and drawing 80, 60, 70, 80,000 people. Yeah.
So what's the next step here? Is there an obvious like next hearing or anything like that?
So the Hinchcliffe suit against Mr. Michaels, they received a preliminary injunction. I'm not sure what it says against Mr. Michaels, and some type of other kind of temporary recourse while the suit is moving forward. I assume that means that, I'm guessing here because I don't know exactly what it says. My pure guess is that they have basically said they've asked and probably received from the court, we need to play as the New York Cosmos. Well, we can't just go out there. What are we supposed to do? And we likely have the better side on this right now. So we'd like to probably play as the New York Cosmos for this season while the suit is going on. I think that's where we are with that one. The other cases that Michaels has brought in the various people, I think they're kind of still sitting there. I think they're waiting to see maybe what's happening with the other one.
Okay. I mean, American soccer messy. All this messy and fascinating and
right. Yeah.
This is following the Cosmos yet again, but in a different form. But for folks unfamiliar, where can they find your stuff, Dan?
Where can they find my stuff? Like me sitting here disheveled in front of my computer is kind of where they can find my stuff. No, I'm on Blue Sky, Dan Creel, website, dancreel.com. I'm trying to put more kind of blogging articles on there to make it a little bit more kind of active. But yeah, they can find me there. Just blue skying dumb stuff throughout the day.
Only because we have a spare minute here, and we've talked in the past about NISA on previous shows. What is your take on this rebirth of NISA and this fall tournament that's supposed to happen in a couple weeks?
Good luck to NISA in their fall tournament, I will say. My team, I don't really have a team to root for, the Maryland Bobcats. Got the pegs knocked out of them at the end of the season. So, wish the folks well. Anybody, yes, there you go. The glitch kit, love it. If anything provides kind of paid work to soccer players, coaches, front office staff, and it happens in the NISA Pro Cup, more power to them.
There you go. Yeah. We're not going to be picky anymore.
Thank you so much. Everyone go check out his website. And thank you so much for joining us here on Morning Kickaround.